Welcome back to Winning Wednesdays, everyone. We are playing some gear mode, and today I'm going to show you guys how to win with Terran using the Crystal Forge. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another guide. This time, this guide is going to be about gear mode, and specifically how to play Terran Crystal Forge. Let's get right into it. So this is the Crystal Forge. Well, this picture of it isn't, right? But the representation of the Crystal Forge. So it gathers energy over time, 1 energy per second, and I believe it starts with around like 50, and it sort of ticks up. It can cap up at a 500 energy, but trust me, you'll never cap up at a 500 energy. You're probably not going to be wanting to do that. Each upgrade costs 100 energy, and it refunds energy based on the unit cost. So for every 500 minerals that it is cheaper than 500, it refunds 1 energy. So that might be a little bit confusing to understand. So let me just show you what I mean by that. So, for example, a battle cruiser costs 500 minerals. Therefore, it refunds 0 energy. A marine costs 50 minerals, and it refunds 90 energy because of that. So the math sort of works out like this, right? So 500 minerals, right? If you spend 500 minerals, right, then you get no energy back, right? So for each 5 minerals underneath that, you will get 1 energy back. So 500 minus 50, you get 450 energy, right? 450 divided by 5, you get 90. So that's 90 energy refunded. So that's just sort of the basics of how the Crystal Forge works. And so more expensive units will eat up more of your energy. Less expensive units will eat up less of your energy. That's sort of the basic idea. Next, it's time to meet the crystals. So the first crystal is the Char Agate, which gives you 250% increased attack speed. And for Terrans, this is very good on the siege tank. And I want to say just the siege tank alone, because it's usually good on units that have very long attack range and rather long attack times. So siege tanks is the perfect candidate to hold Char Agate because it's relatively safe in the back with its huge attack range, and it benefits massively because of its huge damage but slow attack speed. Yeah, you don't really want to put this on anything else. I've seen it on Liberators, but it's not really that great because Liberators don't really have that big of an attack range. So siege tanks is your safest bet. Next, we have Xeris Peridot, which gives the unit that it's being buffed 200% life and 200% shields. So, for example, if you have a Marine, right, you have 50 life, right? 200% life of that brings your Marine's life up to 150. Well, actually, no, it's a little bit more because Marines have 55, right? So, actually brings up to 165 HP. And so, obviously, this is good on Marines because you can put Xeris Peridot on Marines and on a lot of them, right? It's also decent on Marauders. Usually I see it on Hellbats, and sometimes you might see it on Battle Cruisers, because if Battle Cruiser with basically triple the health goes from like 550 to... doing some quick maths right now in my head, can't really process 1,650 health. So that's quite strong. It's just a big tank. Right, so Xeris Peridot, you really just want to be putting this on your tank units. Belshir Sapphire is essentially the same thing, although I want to say it's a little better because it gives health regen and shield regen. Only 5, but it keeps your units a little healthier than if you were to have the Xeris one. Because the Xeris one just gives you bonus move speed, and move speed is only really good on melee units, and like it's not really that much better, right? And it's good on the same things that Xeris Peridot is good on. So these two are basically the same. I would prefer Sapphire over the Peridot, though. And we have Terrazine Amethyst. Terrazine Amethyst is really good on your casters because it triples their energy pool. So instead of saying it has 200 energy, it has 600 now. Triples its energy regen speed, and triples its cooldown reduction, right? So ghosts are very good with this because they can snipe very quickly, and they can EMP much more often. Ravens are also pretty good because, well, they cast a lot, right? You basically don't want to be putting this on anything else besides ghosts and ravens, like besides your casters, essentially. And finally, we have UED Topaz. This is probably the best enchantment crystal, hands down. If you're ever confused as to what you should be going, just slap a few UED Topazes on your units. You'll probably do okay. So it increases attack speed by 100%, right? And it also gives your unit +5 range. Melee units can't get Topaz, right? Or else it'd be a bit ridiculous, right? Melee units can't get Topaz. But basically every Terran unit that's ranged, which is basically every Terran unit, is going to do very well with Topaz. The best unit to have it on is Marines. The next best thing are Marauders, right? You can also put this on siege tanks. It's not bad. It might actually be a little too safe though, so I think Charb's probably the best thing for siege tanks, the red one. Thors are really good with this. Battle cruisers are good with this, right? Like anything that has range is good with this. Like you can't go wrong with Topaz, right? So here's the basic Terran strategy. You want to get Topaz on your Marines, and you just want to have lots of yellow Marines, basically. That's like the ideal strategy to just close out a game is just have yellow Marines. Just have lots and lots of yellow Marines, right? If the game doesn't end within like the first like 10 minutes, you want to start thinking about transitioning to siege tanks. You'll know if a game's going to end in 10 minutes or not based on how far in you've gotten into their base, right? You want to start transitioning to siege tanks, right? And later on into Thors. You can go yellow siege tanks, or you can also go red siege tanks. Probably red siege tanks is probably better in this case. And you also want to go yellow Thors. And you also want to make sure you have blue Marines and blue Hellbats to tank as your front line. And this is the basic Terran strategy. Let's go see it in action right now. Forge. Alright, welcome back, guys. Hopefully you guys found that strategy section very informational. Let's just showcase the build over right now. So we got our Marines up over here. We got like a nice little crowd of Marines. We're gonna walk on in here, get the combat shields. We got our Crystal Forge all ready and set up, and we're all ready to go. Let's see, we got 5 Marines, combat shields. Let's go, boys. What's up, baby? Our opponent is not getting anything. That's very interesting. He might be going the other thing, which is the Weapons Forge. Weapons Forge is great at counterpicking, but it doesn't scale as well. So let's just get some more Marines, because Marines are the core of our strategy. So we have another Terran, and it looks like there's a Protoss. So Protoss is gonna be pretty funky to fight as Terran, and we got a Zerg with Crystal Forge. Okay, that's our team, looking good. Let's do that. We gotta go for a thick line here. It might be bad because it might get AoE'd. But once we get AoE once, like it'll be fine. Like the next wave we'll know, and they can't surprise us then. Let's get out some more Marines. Let's get that stim pack. We got our boys here. We got some Banelings. Alright, interesting choice. Banelings don't do bonus damage to structures here, so this is probably not the best thing to do. But alright, so let's just see what we're up against. I mean, doesn't matter really because Marines are just too good. Opponent, interestingly, is not getting anything, which is very interesting. Well, let's go. We got some attack, and we're gonna hammer we're gonna hammer down this cannon quite effectively. I don't know what my opponent's doing, but whatever it is, it's not working. Considering that's what happened to their cannon, and I haven't even gotten my first yellow Marine yet. And here we go, first yellow Marine coming out. I bet they're trying to rush like some sort of unit that's gonna try and counter me. Which probably isn't gonna work unless it's like a battle cruiser, and even then, like we're gonna get this right there. There we go. Enemy Zerg over here. So I'm gonna go get up to tier 2 now, and even if it is a battle cruiser, I am not afraid of a battle cruiser. So look at that. We got that 90 energy back here. We got that nice little refund. All going on over here. So a stock which costs 100 mils of refund 80 energy. There we go. So this is the details about it in case like you guys didn't get the math that I was talking about. Right, okay, they went Cyclones with the Firehawk. Not exactly what you would do to counter Marines. And definitely not Firehawk. Definitely not Firehawk. There's one that counters light units. That's the one you'd probably want to get. Okay. Well, I guess this is going to be a really quick showcase of this build, because it looks like my opponents are just bending over and dying. Which makes for some very interesting gameplay, but you know what? I'm not gonna complain. Let's nab a siege tank and let's make it red. So strategically, you want to make sure that you put your energy on your low cost units first. That way, you can get energy on your high cost unit later, because energy regens at 1 per second, and you want to be maximizing the amount of units with energy enchantments out here. So let's see, can I get my char? Oh, I didn't get my char tank. I didn't get my red tank out. Oh, that's fine. So this guy's still going Firehawks. You don't want to be going... I mean, Firehawks are good against Queens, but they're not good against what I'm packing, which is lots of Marines. That rhymed, I guess. Here, let's watch these Marines in action. Like, those Marines just obliterated those Cyclones.
Break it down.
I mean, my tank is a little slow on the slow on the pickup. You know, as all tanks are. Enemy Protoss here is getting Zealots. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that there was no Dark Templar. Because it looked like there might have been DTs, because my units were just dying randomly. Alright, so we got a lot of Marines now. Maybe we can get some Hellbats at the front. And at the front, I mean, like, they're kind of off to the side, but, you know, yeah, it's good enough, it's good enough. Yeah, I can move my Marines around a little bit. And then, let's make sure I get my Char Agate on my tank. And, let's get some more let's get another Hellbat over here. And if I can just reposition my Marines here. So, the Hellbats are going to be our primary frontline tank. Let's do that over there. This guy's still going Cyclones, and I don't know why. It's not working. I can tell you definitely is not working. Let's go for a third gas. Be super greedy here. Like, look at this. My Yellow Marines just so much range. I don't know, man. There's no contest here. He's got Void Rays, but Void Rays are not going to be good against my Marines. Alright, let's just drop a scan here. And, let's go tank. Oh, no, it takes so long for it to set up. Oh, it just dies. Okay, so right now what we need is tankiness, ironically. So let's just move these Marines over here. It'll be a little imbalanced over here, but, oh, God. It's not stacked up properly. The biggest nightmare. When the units aren't stacked up properly. Okay, so let's just get some more Marines. It's fine. And let's make sure our tank doesn't siege up unless it has to. Because it's like just lagging behind, and that's really no fun. This guy has more Cyclones for some reason. Here we see the Blue Queens in action. They got a lot of HP, so they'll be tanking forever. That being said, though, those Firehawks did kill those Queens. Yeah. But, yeah. Alright, red tank here just shooting quite fast. Let's get into siege mode. Oh, it takes way too long for it to get into siege mode. Maybe I just keep siege mode off. I don't know. Okay, so let's just go for Belshir, because I don't really want to do anything else. So this Hellbat is now super thick. Got 405 HP. Probably just get some more tanks, honestly. Like, just get another tank over here. I mean, the tanks are probably, in the long run, not the best investment. But they are a security policy. And it looks like we don't even need to see them in action. Because, okay, you know what? Maybe we will. This game might end a little. This game is definitely gonna... Oh, is that a... Okay, there we go. He's got a railgun on the battlecruiser. That is a good choice. The railgun targets light units only, and it will chop up my Marines quite quickly. Oh god, my Hellbats are considered light units, so that's going to be really bad news for me. Battlecruisers have a lot of HP as well. Oh god, my Yellow Marines are getting blown up here. Okay, no, we managed to get through. Red tank. Okay, so we need some Vikings. We need some Vikings, and we need them now. Okay, because the Vikings will have to answer that battlecruiser. So he teched up and managed to survive for long enough. So let's go UD Topaz on a Viking. And that'll be the only UD Topaz Viking I get, because it costs a lot of energy. But it looks like this wave is probably going to end it for them. Yeah, this wave is going to end it for them. Right there. There we go. There we go. So that was a very nice and clean demonstration of how this build goes. As you can see, I probably could have just kept getting Yellow Marines. Like, I didn't need to get this Red Tank. I didn't need to get this Blue Viking. I mean, this Blue Hellbat. I didn't need to get this Yellow Viking. I could probably just went pure Yellow Marines, right? Because my opponent wasn't really doing anything, right? In order to really counter me, you need to get, like, you see this? The mounted railgun does bonus damage to light, right? So this is why Weapons Forge is a counter pick, really, for Crystal Forge, because it doesn't really scale well into late game. And if you don't counter pick properly, then, like, you're not going to do it. It's not going to work out well. So maybe next week I will show you guys a Terran Crystal Forge. Although Crystal Forge is not my preferred... I'm not Crystal Forge, Weapons Forge. Because Weapons Forge is not my preferred pick. Simply because it just doesn't scale that well. So let's see. I didn't actually do too much damage here. My ally over here did the most damage. What was his build? I guess he just had some more, like, see, he had more yellow, I think he had more Yellow Marines than me, and so that in essence already made it much better, and he's got more kills here. Oh, I actually meant negative on the Mineral Valley. I bet it's the tanks. I bet it's the tanks and the Hellbats that I put out. Yeah, like this, you technically don't really need a front line until it goes into mid-game, and that's when you should really think about the front line, but if it's like under 10 minutes, you should just be pumping out Yellow Marines. So, I guess I didn't follow my own advice, but I guess it's also a good showcase of why you should follow that advice. But yeah, if you guys like this video, be sure to leave a like. And until next time, I will see you guys later.